subtitle. The second subtitle of the first unit is application in food and nutrition security. Nutrition security. Yes, biology comes here also. The big issue. One of the basic needs of humanity in our planet: food security and nutrition security. We shall start this subtitle by defining what food security is and what nutritional security is. First, what is food security? We have to define. Based on the FAO, Food and Agricultural Organization, United Nations, World Food Summit, called by FAO 1996, food security as we define just like this. This is a formal definition given by FAO. Food security is a condition in which all people at all times have physical and economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food that meets their dietary needs and food preferences for an active and healthy life. FAO, 1996. See? You have to underline this. A condition in which all people of a nation or a continent, or if you think of the whole world, of all the planet or the world, all people at all times, anytime at all, have physical access, physical and economic access. They have to get the food physically there in their dishes. If there is no food in their dish, they have to have money to buy and bring in their dish for consumption. Therefore, physical, economic access. Therefore, having money is not security, food security. If you have money, but when you go to purchase food, if the food is not available in the market, that's not food security. Therefore, there must be physical access to the food, physical as well as economic access to not under just sufficient and safe, nutritious food that meets their dietary needs and food preferences for an active and healthy life. You see, therefore, this is food security. For this to be satisfied, biology plays big role. Biology, application of the science of biology in agriculture, in food science, even in biotechnology. You see, therefore, if we define food security, we can have these key terms. Here I have to tell you this: the four main dimensions or the four pillars of food security. They call them: one, availability. Remember, is the food available? The second, access, physical and economic access. The third, utility. You have to be able to use it. And stability. That means all this must be stable throughout your life. Just not only for today, for tomorrow, the day after, whatever. Therefore, stability of all this is required. These are the four pillars or dimensions of food security. Therefore, food security must satisfy availability, the food, availability of the food, as I have tried to show you. Just we are talking here, a condition in which all people at all times have physical and economic access to sufficient safe food. The food must be available. Availability of the food, access, and also utility. You have to be able to use it. Just use it so that you have got balanced diet, nutrition balanced diet. Then this must be stable. The food must be available throughout, and you must have access, physical and economic access. You must have the money to buy, and you must have the food to buy from the market. Utility, you have to use it so that when you use it, it keeps your body healthy and properly growing. These are the four pillars. If you like it further, the other is nutritional security. You see, biology also plays a big role in nutrition. They are related but not the same. Nutritional security and food security. Nutrition security is much broader. than food security. Nutrition security refers to the condition in which all individuals have reliable access to sufficient quantities of affordable, nutritious food that meets their data needs for an active and healthy life. This is also internationally agreed upon definition. You see, when it comes to nutrition security includes food security, but it's beyond food security. What makes it beyond? For example, nutrition security goes beyond the concept of food security. Why? Which primarily focuses on availability of enough food. For example, food security primarily uh, focuses on availability of enough food. Uh, Nutrition security emphasizes the quality and diversity of food, ensuring that individuals consume the right balance of macronutrients as well as micronutrients necessary for optimal health. Macronutrients, the three big carbohydrates, fat, and oil, plus proteins, the macronutrients. Therefore, these are relatively daily required in higher amount than the micronutrients. So micronutrients are the minerals, vitamins, which are required in very small amounts daily. Therefore, nutrition security emphasizes on the quality and diversity of food also, ensuring that individuals consume the right balance of micronutrients. It brings the issue of malnutrition also. Malnutrition also. Proper nutrition is also required in nutrition security. Then, if we define food security and nutrient security, we can key components of nutrition security. For example, what are the key components of food security? Availability and access, utility, and stability of the three above. When it comes to key components of nutrition security of the pillars, sufficient quantity and quality of food must be there in a country. Sufficient quantity and quality, not for only today, for throughout the year. Sufficient quantity and quality. Accessibility. Humanity must get access, physical and economic access, easily. All individuals must easily get the food. Health outcomes. This balanced diet. The diet must fulfill the needs of individuals according to the age. The balanced diet, micronutrients in the proper amount. Balanced diet, equity, it must be equally distributed. The food must be equally available for all individuals of a nation or a country. Therefore, these are the key components. Don't mix it up with the food security issues. This is much broader issue. You may take nutritional security even at continental level or at a global level. And when it comes to how can biology be applied in food and nutrition security? Of course, it's very easy. Biology has also got huge application in food and nutrition security to meet the needs of growing global population by enhancing crop yield, modern agricultural practices, both in crop plants as well as animal agriculture, improving resistance to pests. We research on plants, we research on pests so that we may develop plant species which are resistant to pests and diseases, or drought if you like. Boosting the nutritional content of food, we may add genes which may increase the nutritional quality and quantity of particular crop plant or animal. Therefore, especially these days, nutritional security, food and nutritional security, even biotechnology is being applied in the food industries in order to produce fortified foods which contain added minerals, added nutrients, so that they are healthy to consume, no deficiency syndrome or deficiency diseases. Therefore, biology has huge application in both food industry and agricultural industries in order to increase food productivity and enhance quality and quantity of foods in many areas, animal or plant food sources. Therefore, one area of application of biology. Of course, biology is, as I have said, the primary, the first coming subject when it comes to conservation of natural resources and also application in food and nutritional security. Okay, the third subtitle was application, creating conscious citizens, application of biology in creating conscious, it's very simple, creating conscious citizens and ensure sustainable development. I will define this. Conscious citizen, what does it mean, conscious citizen? Biology plays crucial role in creating conscious citizens. How? If you learn biology, if you know about plants, about animals, the whole ecosystem, whatever science in biology, yeah, you will be conscious about the forest, about the biosphere, the living part of this planet. Therefore, how can it create conscious citizens? By expanding awareness of the social, global, and environmental conditions, empowering individuals to assume personal responsibility and engage in actions that have a positive impact on the biosphere. Positive impact. You can teach the generation about the importance of plants, about the importance of afforestation, reforestation, about the importance of the food chain there, the nutrient cycling. You may tell strictly about how much important vegetations are for sustainable development, or you may teach them about health issues, pollution, uh, aquatic pollution, or atmospheric pollution issue. Therefore, if they are aware about the social, global, environmental conditions and empowering individuals as to assume personal responsibility and engage in actions that have a positive impact, you can create individuals by teaching biology. You can create individuals which are who will have positive impact to their environment, and so that they collaborate in these issues. You see, be active citizens, conscious active citizens. Please reduce, reuse, recycle. This is the environmental awareness. Environmental awareness in order to protect pollution of the environment or an ecosystem. They are active participants in the community. And then ensure sustainable development. Biology also ensures sustainable. First, let us define what sustainable development is. Sustainable development means meeting the needs of the present generation without compromising or destroying the ability of the future generation to meet their own needs. No selfish use of natural resources. Or the aim is to have a society where living conditions and resources meet human needs without undermining or destroying or without depleting planetary integrity, the integrity of the planet. So, this generation must think about the future generation. When this generation is using the ecosystem of the planet or the biosphere, it must be in a way that it should be handed over to the next generation, because we are borrowing this planet, we are borrowing our ecosystems from our children. So we have to keep healthy and transfer it to the future generation, and so that they will do the same. And this allows for the ecosystem to live forever if we do this. Sustainable development means continuous development. Just the biosphere is continuously surviving forever, from generation to generation, without destruction. Sustainable development again. This is what this I've got this as on an article telling that this has been given from an African participant during the Rio Summit, Rio Earth Summit, Rio in I think Brazil. He said, "What is sustainable development? Enough for all, forever." Really, it's a very short but descriptive type of defining sustainability. You see, enough for all, forever, forever without destruction. And sustainability the possibility that human and other forms of life on Earth will flourish forever. Therefore, if we define sustainable development, let us say sustainable development aims to balance the needs of these are the three issues. If we are running sustainable development, we have to consider three issues, three important issues: economy, the environment, and also the society. The society. These are the three considered. These are also the three elements considered by economists when they are talking about sustainable development in its economic terms. Sustainable development in its economic terms, these are included the three items: the economy, environment, and society. When we are working for getting money, we should not destroy the environment. Okay? And when we are trying to benefit the society, it should be without compromising the environment, without destroying the environment. Also, it should generate the appropriate income for the country, currency. Therefore, there are models. There are economists use models to explain the interplay among these three factors in a sustainable development. When you say sustainable development, economists are also using these models. I have got one of these models, this one, the last one. This model has been described in your textbook. I will show you immediately. This has been preferred from this. Otherwise, there are three models. The first model, three-legged stool model, they call it. The second is three-nested circle model. And the last, three overlapping circles model. I will show you, diagrams are there. And therefore, when we consider the first three-legged stool model, it talks about such a model of sustainable growth. You see, this is economy, this is the society, this is environment. They are equally important. This model describes that all these three components in a sustainable development are equally important. If one is decreasing, the whole system will not function properly. This is one model. Just giving the second is the three-nested dependencies model. It gives you three circles, one inscribed in the other. Therefore, this is what is important for you as far as this text is concerned, is three overlapping circles model. Three overlapping circles model. The two models are additions from my own source. The overlapping circle model of sustainability acknowledge the intersection of economic, environmental, and social factors. Intersection. Depending on our mindset, we resize the circles to show that one factor is more dominant than the other. Depending on your context, you may increase or decrease the size of circle. You see, these are the three. Economy is that the economy must be when you are investing in a certain investment, you are investing to get profit. That profit should be in a sustainable way, not total exploitation by destroying the environment and also without benefiting the society. You see, society benefits from the investment, from the economy. The environment. You are planting your industry in a certain ecosystem, in a certain environment. The waste from your industry, your investment, should not destroy the biotic component of that environment, should not pollute the soil or the atmosphere, whatever. Therefore, this is sustainable. When your investment or your development is sustainable, it must consider the society, economy, and environment. It should not harm the environment. It should benefit the society, and it should not overexploit. Just it should get the appropriate profit from the investment. Appropriate profit, not exaggerated profit. That exaggerated profit harms the society as well as the environment. And let me show you. This is depicted in your textbook. This is what is there in textbook. Social equity. Just all the society should be benefited from the investment. The other is preserving the environment. Conserve. You have to take care of the environment. The other is economic efficiency. Your investment should profit. Otherwise, you will run bankrupt. Without profit, you can't pay your bank credit. And then when this and this merge economy based on the local community, it's the economy based on local intersection between economy and society and economy. This means this considers only the economy and the society. It will not regard the environment. So we don't accept that. When you see here the society, the economy and the environment, it's forgetting the society. The society is not under consideration according to this. Therefore, we should not regard this as sustainable development. When it comes to the environment and society, we are forgetting the economy. An investment without profit will run bankrupt. Therefore, it's not good. Therefore, the three must be considered. Therefore, this is what we call sustainable. Sustainable, it says tourism, sustainable development. Okay? Then, finally, there is such acronym. IUCN stands in your textbook. This stands for the International Union for Conservation of Nature. International Union for Conservation of Nature. Take it to the first part, conservation of nature, natural resource. It is a global organization founded in 1948 that works towards promoting nature conservation and sustainable use of natural resources. This is the organization IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature in general. Nature, the living and the non-living nature, of course. And then the last part of this portion is this unit is the last subtitle is application in biotechnology, or simply call it biotechnology. Simply call it biotechnology. Application in biotechnology. It's not just, they should have called it biotechnology. What is biotechnology? It is application of the science of biology nowadays at genetic or molecular level, industrially. Therefore, we combine the science of biology with technology. Biology combined with technology. Technology, the science of engineering, also the other sisterly sciences are used here. Physics and chemistry are also contributing to the success of biology in its application at industrial scale. Biotechnology in medicine, in agriculture, in marine biology, environmental science, all, even the dirty corners of biotechnology. There are dirty corners of biotechnology. What are these dirty corners? When we apply the science of biotechnology at molecular, genetic level for the harmful effect just to produce biological bombs, poisons, and destroy humanity or organisms because of enmity. This is the dark side of biotechnology. Biotechnology is not always blessed. It's not always blessed. It has dark sides also, the dark biotechnology, they call it. Anyway, this is biotechnology. Then, what is biotechnology? Let us define. The last part, let us define biotechnology first, before we talk about the different areas of biotechnology where human beings are benefited, or where different types of products or service. By the way, the science of biotechnology gives a service plus products, service. For example, you multiply microorganisms in industries so that genetically engineer them so that they may produce as insulin or antibiotics. This is product. When you multiply microorganisms so that you release them in an area where there are toxic chemicals so that these microorganisms digest and remove toxic chemicals from that environment. This is service industry. Service industry to make an environment free from toxic environment. Therefore, biotechnology can give us either product or service. And then when it comes to The definition, the United Nations Convention on Biological Diversity offers comprehensive definition. This is given by United Nations Convention on Biological Diversity. Biotechnology means any technological application that uses biological systems. You see, that uses biological systems. Biological system is could be cell, tissue, microorganisms, plants, animals, worms, any living organism. Living biological system means biological systems, living organisms, or something taken from living organisms, like molecules taken, protein taken from, genes taken from living organisms. We are using this to make or modify products. We may make products or modify products or make processes for a specific use. You see? Therefore, we are using living organisms at industrial scale or biological systems, living organisms or their chemicals, components, something taken from living organisms, derivatives of living organisms. You may take cell from humans. From that cell, you may take gene. That gene may be the gene for insulin. You may insert it into bacteria. Then you take it, the bacteria, into industries. You give it food, multiply, so that human gene expressed and produces the chemical that the gene produces. This is simply using living systems in order to produce products or modify products or for a certain process like digesting wastes from an environment. The second, the term biotechnology was first used by Karoli Erki in 1919 to refer to the production of products from raw materials or process to give us some service with the aid of living organisms. Specifically, which living organisms are very important in use in biotechnology? The microorganisms, the single-celled organisms, fungi, single-cell fungi, as well as bacteria. And while the term might sound modern, biotechnology sounds modern. Of course, 1919 coined the term. Humans have been using, in terms of practice, it is ancient practice, biotechnology. Our ancient parents have been doing this. So, not at molecular level, at industrial level, but when they are multiplying, when they are hybridizing animals or plants, it's technology, it's biotechnology for better yielding crops, better milk producing cattle production. They are doing it at organismal level. Therefore, biotechnology in its ancient instance, it's not a new practice, human practice. It is ancient traditional practice. But nowadays, 21st century, it has been sophisticated by industrial setup, by the growth and development of molecular biology, especially genetic engineering, so that we can have products at industrial scale by using the modern fields of biology, genetic engineering, tissue culture, protein engineering. All these advanced molecular knowledge are used at industrial scale to produce food or substances or give service for humanity. Biotechnology represents a fascinating intersection of biology and technology, where living organisms, biological systems become powerful tools for creating products and solving complex problems. They have solved complex problems. They have produced variety of products. There are proteins produced. There are hormones produced for various purposes. We can we produce organic acids for various industrial applications. Many chemicals are being produced. Also, the service industry. We may use microorganisms for a certain purpose, including the negative purpose, for destruction purpose, for construction purpose. For example, when we say construction, we may multiply microorganisms so that we release into an environment where there is waste water, so they can make the waste from that environment free, the environment free from the waste. When we apply toxic bacteria which can kill living organisms and apply it to plants or animals or humans, this is the destructive phase of biotechnology, the dark side. Therefore, there are many products, many services that biotechnology gives to humanity by using organisms or biological systems. What are organisms? Starting from microorganisms to the most complex animal or plant, they are used. Or biological systems, we may use cells, tissues, or part of cell, like mitochondria, you may use mitochondria, or even molecules. You may use proteins, DNA, RNA, so that they are used for the good of humanity, to solve problems or to benefit humanity. And the core principle of biotechnology involves harnessing biology. It's redundancy, of course, harnessing biological systems and organisms. But we are making use of biological systems and organisms, such as bacteria, yeast, plants, animals, to perform specific tasks or produce valuable substance. It's repetition, just we are using. And when you repeat something, it will be good for you memory. One of the key techniques used in biotechnology is genetic engineering. I've told you, genetic engineering, the new field, genetic engineering. Just they cut a gene from one organism and transfer it into another, or they cut out and insert another, replace genes. Therefore, it is a new field hugely applied in biotechnology, involves inserting genes from one organism into another, and consequently creates new traits or modifies existing ones. You can insert a gene just to give the organism new character. That means new ability to produce certain chemical. For example, gene from humans that produces insulin, you give it to the bacteria, so the bacteria is genetically engineered, it starts to produce human insulin hormone. What is the purpose of that insulin? For use in for diabetic patients, diabetic mellitus patients. Therefore, this is giving new trait to an organism by inserting genes. These days, even it's possible to edit genes. Even it's possible to edit genes. Human embryo genes can be edited so that you can make your baby to be very smart, with high IQ, good body features like long nose, blue eyes, whatever it is. And there is a technique I will introduce you with this technique known as CRISPR, gene editing ability. Scientists developed gene editing ability, and they are using it for editing genes in microorganisms to produce many different products or modify the organisms. Other important techniques used in biotechnology include tissue culture, which allows researchers to grow cells, tissue in the lab for research and medical purpose, or to produce a wide range of products. Tissue culture, there is one area of application of the science of biology in technology, which is known as tissue culture, a special field. I will talk about this broadly later on. And one area, tissue culture, is used also genetic engineering, tissue culture, protein engineering also there, and the application of biotechnology are diverse, includes products like food, drugs, biofuels, biological fuels, genetically modified crops, and innovative materials. It also has been used to address environmental challenges. We can use biotechnology to environment to make the environment safe from toxic chemicals. I have told you several times, such as developing biodegradable plastics. Now, this is applied. That means biodegradable. You can produce plastics from living organisms by genetic engineering bacteria or yeast or any other organism, so that it produces plastic. This plastic is biodegradable, so it will not, if you dispose it, it will break down. It will be broken down by microorganisms, recycled, so that it will not harm the environment. Using microorganisms to clean up contaminated areas, sites, water, or land. You see, cleaning the environment by using biotechnology is one area of, and even the specific types of biotechnologies are color coded. You see, we have said biotechnology is being used in diverse areas. Because of this diversity, scientists have given color codes to the different types of biotechnologies. And I am introducing these color codes. For example, when you say red biotechnology, it talks about health, medicine, diagnosis, all those areas of human health, community health. When it is yellow, talks about food biotechnology, nutrition, how biotechnology is used to make your food pleasant in color, nutrition rich and tasty and produce in large amount. Blue aquaculture, coastal marine biotechnology, when you go to water, researching water, marine, researching all those organisms in marine environment. Green agricultural, environmental biotechnology, biofuels, biofertilizers, bioremediation, geomicrobiology, all these are environmental. Simply, green is agricultural. Brown, arid zone or desert biotechnology. When we are using biotechnology in order to study arid or desert areas, and so that we can make them productive, that is brown. Dark, this one is the dark side, that is the negative aspect of biotechnology. If you are using the knowledge of biotechnology for destruction purpose, bio warfare, biological warfare, you multiply viruses or bacteria and use it to kill humans or animals or whatever, that is dark. Purple, patents, publications, inventions, IPRs, these are the legal form. White, green-based bio-industries, gene-based bio-industries. White biotechnology is industrial biotechnology, which produces different types of chemicals like organic acids. Gold, bioinformatics, neo biotechnology. This is information processing section of biotechnology. And gray, classical fermentation and bioprocess technology, the fermentation technology, the beer production area. Well, therefore, you see diverse areas of biotechnology. That's why they are given color codes and try to know some of these. Last, biotechnology is a rapidly evolving field with significant potential to address pressing global challenges and improving the quality of life. Yes. However, it says, you see, its numerous benefits also poses ethical and social challenge. It has challenge. The knowledge of biotechnology can be used for unintended purpose. Therefore, there should be a framework of ethics associated with biotechnology. And we will talk about this in the coming sections. And thank you very much.